Welcome to Finish the Race, a conservative Christian podcast where we'll dive deep into the current events and social issues affecting Americans.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
In times like these, truth, principles, and solutions matter. Through God's Word, we can restore our true American values, faith, family, and country.
However, I consider my life worth nothing to me. My only aim is to finish the race and complete the task the Lord Jesus has given me, the task of testifying to the good news of God's grace.
Now, here's your host, Eric Thompson.
Hey, welcome to another Finish the Race podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Eric Thompson out here in California. That is June 20th, 2022. And I had a lot to write about today on finishtherace.com. If you haven't been over there, please go over and check it out. What's happening is chaos. And if you've listened to the podcast before, I might have said that before. But as someone that from 8:30 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night, I'm looking at what all the news sources are reporting, what's happening is the progressives have taken over every area of our lives. Even the pseudo or fake Christians have taken over the fake churches. But what we have going on today is one of the articles was groups from India are invading our U.S. border now. Yeah, I wrote about it. A reporter from the Daily Caller, freelance, videotaped at 2 o'clock in the morning. You have to watch the video. He's asking them, well-dressed, multi-layered clothing, good shape, just as far as the eye can see. Where are you from? India, 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 Cuba, India, 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 India. Why and how would people come all the way over from India through Mexico? I write about that on there. It's very disheartening. An article that's doing pretty well. I wrote about the Iowa Supreme Court says no constitutional right in the Iowa Constitution. There is no right for a mother to kill her baby, to have a doctor, quote unquote, or a nurse or whoever else wants to use instruments made specifically to go in to an area that the woman's body is trying to protect the baby in and get around it and kill the child and pull it out. So that's a pretty popular article the court's explaining why there is no constitutional right for abortion, regardless of stare decisis or Roe v. Wade. You probably have heard about it, but I wrote about it yesterday. And there's a video of, oh no, Joe Biden falls off his bike after his foot got stuck. Joe took off, I think it was Thursday. See, we have a man that's 79 years of age that works part-time in the Oval Office, if we're going to call it work, which is really signing executive orders and other documents that is put in front of him. And then what Joe does is he takes off on the weekends. So with inflation out of control, gasoline prices unaffordable, with supply chain issues, with Black Lives Matter now coming back out asking for reparations, the constant invasion over the border, Joe took off Thursday, went to Delaware, to his beach home, and he went out, rode his bike on Saturday and crashed it. And then today, there's an article, watch Joe challenge reporter over inflation. An educated, legitimate journalist asked Joe at the beach Monday morning. So let's see. He left Thursday, and Monday morning he was still at the beach. And a reporter says, Are we headed toward an inflation? Are we headed toward eventually a recession? And Joe said, don't make things up. He basically accused her of lying and repeating the, as he called it, the Republican talking points. And she shouldn't want to do that. And then he tries to joke and say, well, I know you just want to have your facts straight because there's no way we're headed toward a recession. Nah. Things are good. Things are really good, right, Joe? So I wrote about that. What else? Some other ones here. Black Lives Matter is demanding reparations. Yes. The group that ripped off the corporations and the private donations, the Collier and the other two girls that took the money and ran, their group that's remaining now says that the corporations should and must give them money. All black Americans should get money. Reparations should be paid out now. Yes, we ripped you off, but now we're going to come get some more money, hopefully. DeSantis slams newly elected Marxist Colombian president. In that article, I'm writing about that DeSantis is a very interesting person because he barely won his first election as governor of Florida. It was close. The next time this fall, it's not going to be close. So DeSantis is very popular. So he's contacting people about possibly getting support. It's some other issues. So you'll see that in the article, but I'm breaking down that why I think DeSantis is spending more time talking about foreign policy issues, international issues, as we are getting close to the point where candidates are going to be getting serious after the midterms on are they going to throw their hat into the ring for 24. Another article here, skyrocketing murder rates in Dem-controlled cities. It's 5 of the most popular cities out there, including Atlanta. And what do they have in common? Skyrocketing murder rates. And I'll explain why. Did you hear about this group? They're called Jane's Revenge. And they remind me of like the Antifa mentally ill high school and college girls that kind of did a lot of the violence for them. They're running around with skirts on and like little jackets with little soy boys with them. Yeah, there's a group of angry little girls. Some fat, but primarily look like just little college girls. And so they got a group called Jane's Revenge, and they posted on this blog, and I have it detailed, that they're planning a night of rage. Once the official ruling comes down from the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade in that Mississippi decision, then they've got the instructions on where to go, what time, and to get ready for violence. My question is on Twitter, which you can find me at Finish the Race or ET Talk, on the ET Talk show. I actually sent a direct message to the FBI and the Department of Justice saying, I'm assuming you're keeping an eye on these crazy girls, right? Because even though they're girls and they don't like men, in their instructions for their night of rage, they did say, because remember now, If you're normal, they have to call you cis gender. It's like a cis male or a cis female. Because they don't want to just call us male, men or women, because we're normal. That would make them feel unnormal, which they are. So they could put a cis in front of it. But these girls that are angry, who don't like men, said, well, if you're a cis male, even though we don't normally want your help, you're welcome to come along and protect us, as long as you don't use your male toxicity or you don't display your defects for being a white man, especially. You can come. Just don't be you. But make sure you protect us. So that's a summary of what I was writing about today. There's all kinds of stories out there. There's some really sad stories. I'll probably put this up on Finish the Race tomorrow. There's record overdoses, deaths. There's a record number of people dying in Oregon after the state decriminalized hard drugs. Yeah, the bad drugs, the really, really bad drugs. They've now decriminalized them. So if you got crack, if you've got your acid, if you got your fentanyl, if you got all your drugs, they're saying, well, we're not gonna make a big deal about it. There's a 41% increase in overall deaths in 2021. Last year, there was a 41% increase, and it went up to 1,069 people, mostly young, died. So let me ask you a question. The people that own everything, the major news networks, the big tech companies, when I mean own, they control them. Music, all these different entities. And they claim that they care about people. Yet they keep encouraging girls to kill their babies in the womb, to scar up their bodies internally, to emotionally mess with their heart and minds the rest of their lives. But they say they care about people. They claim that they care about people in the urban areas, the people of color. As they defund the police, they give zero bail to hardened criminals so they can go in and out of jail the same night. Which means no company, or no one with money is going to want to go into those areas and build new apartments or businesses when they know they're going to be vandalized, burnt down, or damaged. But the left says they care about people. Left says they care about people when they leave the borders wide open, and when you watch the video on Finish the Race of the amount of people from India and these other countries flooding over, they go to the same main cities and they go to work and set up businesses, and they take away work and business opportunities for people of color that are there trying to compete for the limited amount of business. But the left says that they care about people. They said they care about people, but they're teaching 5-year-olds that they may not be the gender that they think they are. They're bringing men in dresses and screw with their minds, but they care about people. And I'll close with a couple thoughts here on all this. The debate that's taking place, that's why DeSantis, with him looking to see what kind of interest there would be for him running, but obviously President Trump will be the candidate in 24 unless something really strange happens, I believe. We have open wounds that are getting more and more infected or diseased every single day. That's education and immigration. Every single day, tens of thousands of people from over 150 different nations are coming into our country. Tens of thousands. Every day. Every day, students, either online, Zoom calls, summer school, or during the regular school year, are being indoctrinated every single day. Marriage, the concept of mom, husband, wife, children, is under attack and has been reduced down to it's something you can do if you feel like you need to, but you don't need to. Because really, I mean, a man can be pregnant, and so we don't really know about that, and we should change the birth certificates, and maybe someone's going to be, they're going to change they're going to be gender fluid. So the idea of anything that's traditional, normal, biologically based, biblically based, those are all shunned in this neo-pagan culture. We are living in a country that resembles what happened with Greece and Rome. Godlessness, focus on sports, narcissism, poor health, vanity. So we're in a country that's being controlled by people from the Great Reset and United Nations 2030 sustainability goals and the World Health Organization. And our country's being flooded with 3-4 million people every single year now. Well, they say 2.2 million plus getaways. That's baloney. People are streaming across and not getting caught. Don't tell me there's a handful. No, there's so millions and millions of people. When we get ready for November, for the midterms, we're not looking for just people with an R by their name. We need people that are willing to take on the world. Because as a House member and a U.S. Senator, the world is working through helping fund elections, trying to get Democrats elected, lobbyists up the kazoo, and rhinos all over the place. So there's all this pressure saying, United States, just continue your decline and be part of the global family. Make it so stinking expensive to own a car, to pay for gas, that people stop driving cars. Join our family. Join the new world order. That is, we need people that are running for office who are willing to say, everything that Biden and Obama did, we're going to, like Back to the Future, we're going to change. You're going to reverse U-turn, and we're going to deconstruct it all. We're going to take it all away. And the 40 million people here, you go into the tax code, you say no one that is not a citizen. So all non-citizens will no longer be eligible to get any type of payment from the government. No Social Security, no unemployment, no stimulus checks, nothing, no paychecks, nothing. You have the border open, the doors are swinging out, and you say, you know what? Get out or you're going to be arrested. Then I want the government to do a 90-day military exercise on the Mexican-United States border. And while the exercise is going on, which obviously would allow no one to come in, because before we do that, our House of Representatives would have gone in and gutted the immigration bill from the 80s and 90s to remove. There'll be no amnesty, no asylum, no chain migration. Signed into law. That's the end of the wave. If you can't come over through chain migration, if you can't come over asking to apply for asylum, and the CBs from the Army are building a massive, finishing and doubling up the wall during the military exercises, nobody's coming in, and there would be no legal recourse if they got in and got caught. Those are the kind of people we need in office. It's extreme at this point. We're at the extreme point. Are you, Mr. Candidate, Mrs. Candidate, are you willing to deconstruct the federal government, close the Department of Education, close more cabinet positions for the president, defund the government 25%, stop sending payments to illegal aliens? Are you willing to sign off on all those? I don't know. I'd have to look. No, I'm not voting for you then. We need people to reverse deconstruct. We don't need grand ideas now. We've got to fix the infection. We've got to fix the damage. So we really need a team, a majority in the Congress, Republicans that are willing to fix what's broken. And a lot of that is simply cutting out the programs, stripping away the power from the federal government, sending it back to the states. That is how we save the constitutional republic. Not looking for a candidate that's going to build a strong conservative platform without fixing the rot of immigration and education that's taking place. Now, I don't know how popular my views are on this. I am Christian conservative guy. I'm not looking for any violence. I'm not looking for people to be mistreated. But if we're going to save the constitutional republic with 30, 40 million people running around and we don't know who they are, it's impossible. It's impossible to stop people from dying from fentanyl overdoses around the United States when the drugs are pouring across the border. It's impossible to stop human trafficking internationally when we have an open border. If the border's staying open at all, then none of this matters. Then plan B is we are the divided states of America. We have to reallocate resources and have people move to states that are conservative, and then we will have almost like before the Civil War, where you'll have states that are of one mindset, except it's reversed this time because the federal government is the corrupt, racist party. So you'd have states that are fighting for liberty, and then we'd have the federal government trying to strip the Bill of Rights. Those are our two choices. So as I'm writing these articles, especially as we get closer to the elections, I'm going to be writing about specific states and candidates. I'll probably put them on the podcast. We're looking for people that have integrity, good people, traditional people that have the guts, the fortitude, the conviction to say, I want to get rid of all of the damage, and I don't care if I'm called Islamophobic. I don't care if I'm called anti-immigrant, anti-people of color. It's like, you know what? Our constitutional republic, the majority, it's our country. It's not people who are not of our country's country. So if you're with me on that, that'd be great. If you think I'm a little extreme, then thanks for listening. I guess you'll have to throw out a couple of my ideas every once in a while, but I'm not changing at all. Because I already know I've been to Israel, I've been to Jordan, I've been to Turkey, been to Croatia, been to Greece, been to Ireland. So I've seen countries and I see what happens when socialism wears down the people. When I was in Greece, they were basically bankrupt. When people don't have hope and everything is kind of fixed, this is all I can ever be, and the government's controlling everything. That's not what I want for my grandkids and children. I want everything. I want the federal government stripped down and everything sent back to the states under the 10th Amendment. That's it. I want tough law and order. I want people prosecuted, and I want people put away, and I want people out of this country that are not citizens. Then we can work on a balanced budget amendment to make sure that our debt can be paid down, etc. So I think it's very clear, but most people, that's not going to be very comfortable to try to go through this process. That's the only hope we have if we want to save our republic. So I'm fighting the good fight. I'm going to be pushing on, and I hope that we can get some traction on this, deconstruct the federal government. If so, it would be the biggest U-turn in world history. And I'm praying, just praying that God would give us direction, that the hearts of people would be turned if it's his will. And to me, if we get through 24, if we hit January 20th, 25, and I don't see people jumping on board with this, and we're just going to try to have a big Republican government, then what happens is, as we saw with President Trump, slow down some of the damage being caused by education and immigration. As soon as he left, it's the worst it's ever been. So we know not to repeat what we've been doing because that would make us insane. So all we can do now is say, just like you reset a video game, you reset a computer, you reset a scoreboard, let's reset back to liberty, and then let's start over and not get in this mess again. Thank you for listening. I did want to tell you that about a year and a half ago, I found out a way that my family and I could save over $800 a year. Well, now it's over $900 a year. If your family could use an extra $900 a year to stay in your bank account every year, do what my wife and I did and hundreds of thousands of other people are doing right now, and they're leaving AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, or Sprint, the big carriers that are charging you way too much for your cell service because they have so much overhead and they support causes that we disagree with. Go to the company that I'm recommending. Go to this website, getpuretalk.com. Getpure, P-U-R-E, talk.com. Company's Pure Talk USA out of the Atlanta, Georgia area. This is how it works. You go to getpuretalk.com. You choose the plan that's right for you. Now, you don't have to buy new equipment, so you don't have to buy new phones. You don't have to switch your phone numbers. You don't have to do anything. You just go to getpuretalk.com. If you don't want to take advantage of the big sales on their phones, you can just order free SIM cards in the middle of the page. When you check out, you use my promo code. It's 3 letters, FLS, for liberty's sake. FLS at checkout. You'll get 50% off your first month on your first Pure Talk bill, which should be about 50% of what you've been paying Verizon. Here's the nice things. Even when you get the SIM cards in the mail, you stick them in your phones, you turn them on, you're going to be on the same 5G network you were on before. Same towers. You kept your phones, you kept your phone numbers. Everything stayed the same. No contract. And the customer service is great out of the Atlanta, Georgia area. The CEO is a U.S. veteran. Pure Talk's a top-rated wireless company, and they don't charge you if you go over on your data. So my bill's $46 a month for 2 phones. If I go over on the data, guess what my bill's going to be next month? $46 for 2 phones, even if I go over on my data. So do the right thing. Start putting money in your pocket by doing nothing different than paying Pure Talk USA every month instead of paying AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, or Sprint. Again, go to getpure, P-U-R-E, talk.com. Use a promo code FLS at checkout. You can also, if you need pillows, sheets, they got huge sales going on MyPillow right now. I just saw they had a $50 off their main pillow, which I sleep with every night. Check them out. Go to mypillow.vip. It's a very important page. mypillow.vip, and you're going to use the same promo code that you're using at Pure Talk to save $900 on your cell phone service, FLS, at checkout. So you go to mypillow.com/FLS or mypillow.vip. It will forward over. Save on Bible pillows, sheets, towels, 60-day money-back guarantee. Support Mike Lindell. mypillow.vip, promo code FLS. And lastly, if you have a retirement, or if you're working on your retirement, you have to be freaking out with what's going on with the national debt and the stock market and inflation. There's a company that I vetted pretty heavily. They've been around for a long time, 6 or 5-star ratings, every single possible source. They're called Goldco. And they've placed nearly $1 billion. They've helped people like you and me transfer some or all of our retirement out of IRAs, 401ks, etc., legally using a loophole that the IRS set up. So you can say, I want to move half of my money into gold. So if there's a 2008 financial crisis repeat, my at least some of my retirement is solid and I don't have to worry about it because gold's not going anywhere. So, hey, they're offering a free 32-page 2022 Wealth Protection Kit. So why not get the free kit? People are doing it every day, especially if you have $50,000 or more in retirement savings. 32-page kit will explain how the current inflation could decrease your money, your retirement by 50% or more. So do me a favor, head over to getgoldco.com, getgoldco.com. Getgoldco.com. Put your first name, last name, phone number, email. You'll get the kit in a couple days. 32 pages, explains everything. If it makes sense, talk to them. If you don't want to right now, then don't. But at least you'll have the information so you don't wake up going, I should have looked into gold and silver when I had a chance. And all you're doing is you're just transferring what you've already got set aside into something that won't get rocked if the financial system falls apart. So again, getgoldco.com. You don't need a promo code. Order your free 2022 Wealth Protection Kit. Make sure you get over to getpuretalk.com to save a bunch of money on your cell phone service with no contract, promo code FLS, and mypillow.com/FLS or mypillow.VIP, promo code FLS to save a ton of money. Thanks a lot for listening. Please check out the articles on Finish the Race, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for listening to Finish the Race. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
My friends and I love it.
It's drastically changed my life.
For more information and updates, please visit finishtherace.com. To get in touch with others in our community, please visit megabook.com. We thank you once again for tuning in. Have a blessed day.